Hi everyone, welcome to the video. Today we're looking at Petra, but through a different lens. Some researchers believe parts of our history might be missing or misunderstood, and that sites like Petra could be evidence of major resets in our past. One theory suggests Earth has gone through cycles of destruction, including high heat events relating to the planet's energy grid. If you're interested in that idea, I recommend checking out the work of Michelle Gibson. On this channel, I like to question the mainstream version of history, especially when it comes to old buildings. Take the Chicago World's Fair, for example. We're told all of those massive structures were temporary. It raises questions. This line of thinking is often referred to as Tartarian. Before diving into Petra, let's take a quick look at something called meltology. These are structures, castles in this case, that are built into rock or mountains. In many cases, it's hard to tell where the natural rock ends and the construction begins. Look at this archway. It blends directly into the mountain. That's an unusual way to build, unless we're seeing the aftermath of something destructive. With past resets, some believe there was also a worldwide flood of mud that buried many older buildings, either completely or partially. A possible example of this is in Seattle. The city's official story talks about regrading, basically digging up and reshaping parts of the city. But some think they may have been digging up parts of older structures. There's also a whole underground section that's now used for tours. And Seattle isn't unique. You'll find similar stories in other cities around the country. Here's an early drawing of the Massachusetts state capitol, said to be finished in 1798. The cost listed is oddly specific. In the drawing, you can see workers with shovels and pickaxes, possibly digging it out rather than building it up. One feature you'll find over and over in old buildings are ground level windows. It's a strange design choice, especially in places where it rains or snows. And here's an interesting photo of the U.S. Capitol building under renovation. Here's another example. The Willard Asylum in New York, supposedly built in 1869. You'll see these windows very close to the ground line, as well as a doorway that goes beneath the ground. Now let's take a closer look at Petra. This structure is known as the monastery. You'll notice the blockwork off to the side that shows up in various places throughout Petra. Some parts are said to be carved directly from the rock, while others are built from these stone blocks. What I like to look for are places where the blocks seem to lose their shape, where it looks like material may have melted or fused together. Here's another example. You can see the block arches up top, but a lower arch that appears more like solid rock with, in my opinion, the outlines of blocks still faintly visible. To me, this looks like a transition from stacked stone to melted form. Petra also feels similar to Roman cities, and it was reportedly occupied by Romans at one point. You'll find old world features here, very similar to the ones in Roman sites. Here is one of those old world mosaics, and even a theater. I suppose we'd be told this is carved straight out of the rock, but it has a very similar appearance to typical Roman theaters. The fact that some of Petra's structures extend far underground fits right in with the mudflood theory, raising the question of whether we're only seeing part of the original city. This was just a small look at Petra, but I think it points to something bigger than we've been told. There's more going on here, and probably a lot more to uncover. Thanks for watching. I hope you found it interesting, and have a great day.